Hey, fifth graders. Day 9 of personal narrative here. We're gonna go to the second slide, click to make a copy of day 9. Here's our copy, and we're gonna get started. Today, for our personal narrative, we are talking about writing a lead, and the lead is the beginning of your story. It's really important for personal narratives to start with a strong lead um, in order to grab the attention of whoever is reading it. Remember, a goal of a personal narrative is to draw the reader in. So, having a strong lead or an opening sentence does that. There are 5 different types of lead that we are going to look at. I am going to zoom in a little bit, or a lot bit. Um, so here we go. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is jump into action. An example that they gave us is, as soon as the bell rang, I jumped from my seat and bolted to the door. So that's getting your reader pulled in because they're going to want to know where you're going. I might so thinking again about my personal narrative I'm working on, I'm going to keep on the same one of getting Clementine. So I'm going to say, let's see, I'm going to say Clementine zoomed around the room. We could not catch her. So it's giving action to what's happening in the story. And so now my reader is going to maybe keep watching or keep reading to see how I could catch her. Okay. The next one is the setting description. And an example they gave us is this, is as I stepped onto the hot sand, I could feel the ocean breeze blowing through my hair. So I might say, as we not walked, sorry, as we drove down the long tree lined driveway, the headlights bounced off the trees and rocks in our path. Maybe that's not my favorite sentence, and that's okay. We're just practicing setting a description. So the house where I got Clementine was down kind of a long driveway that was tree lined. By saying the headlights, I'm showing that it's nighttime. So you can do a lot with a setting description lead or opening sentence, okay? The sound effects. Screech! The ride came to a halt right in front of me as I stepped up for my turn. Maybe because I'm talking about the dog, mine is going to be, oops, we need to capitalize. Sorry, maybe I didn't talk about that the other day in our thing. We capitalize at the beginning of like a quote. Woof. Clementine let out a loud bark as we put her harness on. Okay. Dialogue. For dialogue, this one says, "Where do you think you're going?" Mom asks as I zipped past her and out the front door. So dialogue is what we worked on in our last lesson, which was using those quotation marks and putting somebody else's voice in our with quotations to our dialogue. You can put your own voice in the space as well. Let's see. Okay. Maybe I'm going to say here, do you think she'll be happy living with us? I asked as we began the long drive home. So this one puts my voice in the conversation, which is okay, and in the story. Okay, and then inner dialogue is what you're thinking. So not necessarily what you're thinking, or I mean what you're saying. It's what you're thinking in your head. So this one says, what was I thinking? I asked myself as I climbed up the steep rock. Let's see. I might say as I'm going to say, what was I thinking? No, wait. Let's say, did we make the right decision? I asked myself as Clementine let out another loud bark. All right. So your job is going to be to try each one of these different leads. So you're going to write one for each of the 5 leads. Later we're going to pick one and you could completely change it. Maybe you practice writing all of these and you decide, I really love jump into action, but I hate the sentence I wrote right here. That is okay. We can change it around. But we're going to practice writing and put it in the context of the event that we're thinking about in our story that we're starting to write. Okay, so you're going to practice this. When you are done, you will submit a photo or share your work with us. Remember that if you need any help, check in with one of us and keep calm and write that personal narrative. Bye.